Do you want some sauce? You want some of that sauce? Sold my soul to the devil for lasagna. Hi guys, today I am making a lasagna. I've obviously made a lasagna before, but I've never made a lasagna that I've been like super pumped on. The goal for today is to make like a bomb lasagna that's so delicious. And also I was just kind of craving lasagna, so I said, let's make that our episode. And that's what we're doing. I have all my ingredients out in front of me. Raw meat, cheese, different cheese, onion, tomatoes, garlic, diced tomatoes and crushed tomatoes, and noodles. So that's what we're gonna be using mostly for today, plus seasonings. I don't wanna make this lasagna some like weird lasagna that has broccoli or something in it. Just straight up meat sauce, cheese, garlic, onion, seasoning, finito. First thing that you have to make with the lasagna is the sauce. So I'm gonna add a whole onion and a bunch of garlic cloves to the sauce, but we need to get those cut up first. I'm gonna preheat my pot that I'm gonna cook the beef in so that we can get the beef going a little bit quicker than the garlic and the onions. So let's get that started. Put it on like medium heat. I'm gonna show you how to cut an onion. Cut it in half. Lengthwise, so you're cutting down the middle of that root stem, so you have two halves like this. Then I just cut off the top part and then peel off that skin that's still on there. That's gross and you don't want to eat that. If you don't know how to chop an onion, you probably shouldn't even be close to a knife or a kitchen. You're gonna cut strips down the onion towards the root side so that it stays together all the way through. So vertical cuts, and then one in the middle here, down through the middle of the onion, and then just chop it like that. And what you're gonna get is some really nicely diced onion, proportionally sized, that will go nice into your sauce and eventually kind of just disappear, but leaving that really good flavor that's gonna make your sauce better. So what I'm doing with this sauce, I do not buy pre-made sauce. I buy a can of crushed tomato or just diced tomato, and all that's in that can is just regular tomato, so that I can season the sauce myself, because I think it's better than store-bought, and it's probably a little bit healthier too, because a lot of the other sauces have a lot of hidden sugar in them, and that's not what you want. Cut the other half of the onion. I'm starting to cry already. Okay. Lengthwise cuts again, all the way down. Oh, that was scary. Oh my God, my eyes. This is not good for my makeup, guys. I'm gonna put some olive oil in my pan before my meat goes in. Not a lot, just a little splash. But I'm gonna be putting more olive oil in my sauce when the tomatoes go in. So I just put a splash of olive oil in there. I'm gonna let it heat up like another minute before I'm gonna put the beef in there. So in the meantime, what goes better than red wine? Oops. Than red wine and lasagna. Not much. Sold my soul to the devil for lasagna. That's my favorite song. Fuck me. Lasagna's good. I'm cutting off the ends so that the skin comes off nicely. I'm gonna show you a trick if you don't know how to do this. Bare onion clove, put the flat side of your knife down, palm of your hand, smash it. That smashes it, it makes it easier to cut. And when you do that to a garlic clove, it releases a chemical, it starts with an A, I don't really remember exactly what it's called. But what can you do? It releases a chemical that actually starts to release like a really flavorful part of the garlic, and you get more out of it. It's really good for you too as well. Garlic is like a one for all. It stops colds, it's very tasty, and you won't have vampires in your house. That's a big worry nowadays, so just keep putting the garlic in. You also want to make sure that you have like fairly decent garlic, like, oh, ooh, a little too heavy-handed with the wine and the cutting. Whoopsies. So that's 4 cloves. We're gonna do one more. One more clove of garlic. I'm feeling pretty confident about this recipe. I have made a lasagna before, so I'm very familiar with process that a lasagna goes to, and I'm not following like a recipe or anything. This is basically my own lasagna recipe, and I'm just gonna go by the seat of my pants and kind of try to figure out what works best to make the best lasagna. The last time I made a lasagna, it kind of went a little dry, and I think I know why, so I'm gonna try to fix that today so that you can recreate this if you want. Probably won't want to because it might not be that good, but if it looks good, then I'll make sure that I'll have the recipe there for you. Because this might be the one recipe where I knock it out of the park and make it so good, and you're gonna be like, you know what? This show is worth watching for once. So I'm gonna put my meat in. Okay, so I've got olive oil in this heated pot, and I'm just gonna drop this. So I'm seasoning it right now just with salt and pepper. Okay, so I've chunked that up real nice. The ground beef's cooking in there with salt and pepper. I'm gonna let that chill out for a minute before I put my garlic and onion in there. And once that goes in, that's gonna smell so, so, so good. And then when I got my sauce in there, then I can show you what I put in my spaghetti sauce to season it, including a kind of sort of secret ingredient. Other people have used it before, but it takes, in my opinion, takes your red sauce up a level that you might not think about doing, but definitely if you're using like just cans of crushed tomato, it is delicious. Wine break. I have so much energy today. I just have to wait a minute. I'll check my beef. Still cooking. I'm also using just oven-ready lasagna noodles. To be honest, I'm not trying to go fancy. I think that the best lasagnas are the ones that are actually made out of these things. It's easy also as well. You can decide if you want to make your own lasagna noodles, but that seems like a lot of work, and I'm not doing that today. I kind of have a feeling that I'm gonna make a fucking bomb-ass lasagna. I don't think I'm working out today. Okay, so my meat is almost done cooking. I think that I was lied to saying that it was lean ground beef because a lot of grease came out of it. So I'm just gonna clear that up and put my onions and garlic in. Okay, so the onions and the garlic are gonna go in here now. More salt and pepper. S&P. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Is that salt and pepper? What salt and pepper is, I don't want no scrubs. Scrubs is a guy that can't get no love from me. Oh, that smells delicious. I'm gonna let those garlic and onions sweat it out with the meat in there and just give it a little minute to cook. And then we'll pour our sauce in and we'll season it. And I'm super excited for this. Seasoning your sauce is not complicated. It makes so much of a difference when I season my own spaghetti sauce or red sauce. It just tastes better. It tastes homemade. And there's nothing better to me than like a big old plate of spaghetti with meat sauce that tastes like homemade tomato sauce. I'm very passionate about this. Remember I gave the whole lecture about real Parmesan? Don't buy shitty Parmesan. If you're making your own tomato sauce in terms of seasoning it, you don't want to waste shitty Parmesan all on top of it. So, back to this. Also, this is my opinion about the sauce. And someone behind the camera might disagree with me. When I'm making a meat sauce for spaghetti or for lasagna, all I want in it for vegetables are garlic and onions. I don't want peppers. I don't want like broccoli. I don't really want mushrooms or celery. I just want meat, garlic, onions, and red sauce. How's everyone doing, by the way? Hope everyone's doing good. To the 100 people who will actually watch my videos. I'm gonna shock everyone, but I'm gonna put some red wine in with the meat. I know that I was drinking it, and I am gonna waste about a cup of red wine, but I think it's gonna be worth it. So I'm gonna put some red wine in here. Just to give it a little zhuzh. We're gonna cook the alcohol out, create a really nice flavor profile. I wish that when I'm making these shows that you can try what I'm making. That's the real bummer of this show, is that really it's only me who ends up eating it, and sometimes Rob if he likes it. Rob is my husband, if anyone didn't know that. Molly will eat it if it ends up tasting like shit. I think this one's gonna be good, and I'm just upset that you guys aren't gonna be able to taste it with me. Oh, it smells delicious. Yummy! So now I'm gonna open my tomatoes. I have 2 cans going on here. I have a can of crushed tomatoes, which is the consistency of like a typical pasta sauce that you would see. I also have a can of diced tomatoes. So this can is a can of like tomato chunks. I'm using both. Because I find that sometimes the crushed tomatoes have a little bit too much of a, like, it's too thick. Also, I kind of want some of those tomato chunks in there to break down and just be really nice. So when I was saying last time that I haven't really made a lasagna that I'm really pumped about, I think it's because I don't make enough sauce and it gets kind of dry. So today I'm using 2 cans of diced and crushed tomatoes to make a delicious sauce that I'm gonna have tons of to layer the shit out of this lasagna. Whole can of crushed tomatoes. Now there's always a little bit in here, so I just take some water, kind of swirl it around, get the excess, and then add that water in too. Which initially is the sauce is gonna seem pretty thin, but as we cook it and reduce it down, it's gonna create so much yummy flavor, and you want that extra water in there. Oh yeah, that's the stuff, guys. Now what I've been talking about is what I'm gonna season my sauce with. First, salt and pepper. A little more pepper, basil, oregano, red pepper flakes, a little bit of rosemary, garlic salt. Okay, so basil. I'm putting a decent amount, like I would say at least a tablespoon and a half of each. And these are all dried seasonings. That's my like preferable way to do it. When you're cooking for a long time, I don't really like to put fresh seasoning in it because I find the flavor profile of the dry ones kind of open up when they're cooking. So not a lot of red pepper flakes. Like I would say just a couple dashes because they do have some heat to them. I just like a little bit in there. And then same with the rosemary, just maybe like half of a tablespoon of rosemary in there. Oh, this is smelling so good, guys. It's smelling so good. Oh my God. I don't think I've been this excited about an episode yet. I know I gave a lecture earlier about pasta sauces that have sugar in them, but I am gonna put a little bit of sugar in mine because when you get canned tomato sauce, sometimes they have a tinny taste to them and a very like acidic taste, and I want to counteract that a little bit with some sweetness. So I am gonna put some sugar in, but you can control the sugar. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in here. So that was probably like not even a quarter cup of sugar. Now, this is my secret ingredient. I'm gonna put a cinnamon stick in the sauce. So this cinnamon stick is gonna cook in and just really like deliver some deliciousness into the sauce that's gonna taste oh so good. All the seasoning I want is in there. Pop a lid on, and we're just gonna cook that for, I would say, like 40 minutes. Okay, so while I have my sauce cooking on the stove, I'm gonna mix up our cheese mixture to put in between the layers. And what I'm gonna use for that is a ricotta. So this is just a traditional ricotta, soft white cheese. If you've never used ricotta before, it's like super mild flavor, and it's just got a really nice texture. And I'm gonna mix it with some mozzarella and a couple other seasonings in there too as well. Get the ricotta out of here. So yeah, it's just like I'm gonna use this whole thing. This lasagna is gonna be epic. And then we're gonna add a decent amount of mozzarella, leaving some for the top. And we're just gonna mix in the mozzarella and the ricotta together. And then I'm gonna put some pepper and salt in this too as well for some seasoning. A decent amount of pepper because I want a little bit of bite in there, some salt. Okay. I'm also gonna put some dried oregano in. A little bit of the red pepper flakes too as well. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Mix that up. Okay. So that cheese mixture is like super simple, easy to go, or easy to make. And I'm just gonna pop it in the fridge while we wait for the sauce to cook. And then once the sauce is done, we can like start creating our lasagna, which is the funnest part. And I'm just gonna put a little like couple tomato chunks and pieces here and there as I see fit when I'm making it. These are Roma tomatoes. Maybe I should switch this channel to doing stuff I know how to do because I'm just so much more excited. I'm so much more excited because like I know that it's gonna be delicious. So my sauce has been cooking for about 40 minutes. It smells delicious, so good. But now it's time to build the lasagna. So I'm gonna get the cheese mixture out of the fridge, pull the sauce over here. Guys, you do not understand how fucking good this sauce smells. Like, it's ridiculous. It smells like heaven. Jesus Christ. Take that out. Oh my God, it smells so good. My mouth's watering. It smells like the most perfect red sauce that you can imagine, with a hint of sweetness and spice that comes from the cinnamon. So let's build the lasagna. We're gonna open up our noodles. First, do a layer of sauce on the bottom. Fuck, guys. The layer of sauce on the bottom just allows you to have your lasagna not stick. So you don't need a big layer, just like a little layer. Look at all that steam. Look at all that steam. You can get like an Italian facial. Somehow these pieces fit perfectly into this pan. Like, it's the perfect width. Length? It's a perfect length. How many can I fit in? It's a perfect length crosswise, but this way, not so much. So I'm just gonna maybe like, good enough. Just put pieces in. It works. Now I'm gonna put in a little bit of my cheese mixture. So if you remember, this was ricotta and mozzarella and some seasoning. Mash it down. Shit. I'm making a mess. I'm just trying to like spread it evenly. So then I'm gonna add another layer of sauce on top of the ricotta mixture. I want like a lot of sauce going on in this. So we're putting a lot. It smells so good. Next layer of noodles. Put these in. Please don't get me high. Okay, so now I'm able to fit 4. I don't understand this. Okay, so I'm gonna put all the rest of the ricotta mixture on this layer. So we get a nice creamy layer. Just press it down, maneuver it around. It's kind of hard when these noodles are slipping all over the place, but what can you do, eh? Only your best. Okay. Then another layer of sauce. Fuck, guys. I really feel like this is gonna have a lot of flavor in it. I'm so excited, I just can't hide it. Get me out of here because this is bomb. So fucking good. Okay, one more layer of noodles, then another layer of sauce, and then we're gonna put the cheese topping on. Okay, so we're gonna drop the rest of the sauce on. Do you want some sauce? You want some of that sauce? So now I'm gonna put the top layer of mozzarella. Yeah, I'm gonna have to maybe shred more. Get out of here with that cheesy. Good girl. Okay, more cheese on this. Oh, guys, I don't think this lasagna is gonna know what hit it. Then I'm gonna put some of these tomato chunks on the top of there, just to make it look nice. I'm gonna add some of this Italian seasoning. So, sidebar, I actually made this Italian seasoning myself. It is basil, oregano, rosemary, parsley, garlic powder, and red pepper flakes. I just mixed it all together and made my own Italian seasoning. So I'm gonna toss the top of that with this. So you get a lot of really nice flavor on the top there with the cheese. Last but not least, I'm going to shred some real ass Parmesan on here. How do I open this? Okay, so I'm just gonna shred some Parmesan all over the top of here. And that's gonna give it a really nice crispy top. More of a like nuttier, really kind of savory flavor that the Parmesan offers that the mozzarella and the ricotta doesn't. Oh my God, I'm so excited. It smells so good. So I have my oven preheated to 400. That's what I'm gonna cook this lasagna at. Let's see how long these noodles take. I really have to pee. 50 minutes at 375. So we're gonna do like 40 minutes at 400. This bitch right here is ready for the oven. I'm gonna cover with tin foil. So we're gonna put it in. I'm gonna take the tin foil off at the like 25-minute mark so that we're able to get some nice browning on the cheese, but we are ready to go. Okay, so my lasagna has been in the oven for approximately, probably 45 minutes in total, but it looks like it's done, so I'm gonna take it out of the oven. Oh dear Lord in heaven, look at that masterpiece. Oh, that smells and looks so good. So this obviously, like, it's still bubbling, so while it's cooling down so that we can take a little bite-size, I'm just gonna make a quick little Caesar salad. One piece of bacon. Okay, sprinkle that on there. Oh, I dropped one. This Renee's Caesar dressing is literally the best Caesar dressing known to man. Parmesan in there too as well, because that's what makes it good. I'm gonna squeeze that on top. It's gonna taste like a restaurant Caesar salad. I think it's time to plate the spaghetti. Plate the lasagna and see what it tastes like. Just cut into this. What's the best way to do this? Oh no, I don't know what to do. Maybe I go like this. Coming out in like 2 pieces, so I'm just gonna go with, that's 1 piece. That's the other piece. It's not pretty, but it's gonna taste good. It smells so delicious. It's very saucy. Let's take a bite. I don't even know what to say. I'm in heaven. There's literally nothing better than like a good pasta dish. This tastes so good. I'm not lying to you when I say that this is the best lasagna I've ever made. The sauce is so flavorful. The noodles are perfectly cooked. They're like al dente lasagna noodles. The ricotta and the mozzarella and the Parmesan and the tomato chunks on top. This is so good. I don't know what else to say to you guys other than this was a definite success. I love lasagna. If you want more of these videos, subscribe to my channel, like my video, press the bell so you get a notification when the next one comes up, and just keep watching. That's all.